Hey guys, so we are live. Thank you for coming back to Author Chat. No tears today. Yay. I mean, good tears yesterday, but still, tears none the same. We are here today with Emily Victoria and her book, This Golden Flame. And this is your debut, correct?
Yes, it is.
And this is a standalone. And one thing that I want to do a shout out to everybody that has emailed me. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I know a lot of people said that they wouldn't be able to watch the show live, and they wanted to make sure that the author knew that they were completely overjoyed and grateful that she published a book that dealt with asexuality, because it's not generally something you see in books, especially YA. So very, very happy about that. So shout out to everybody that emailed me. Thank you so much for doing that. And you guys are always welcome to DM me or email me or tweet me out or Instagram or whatever. If you have a question that you can't ask on the show live, it's totally fine. All right, so you guys know the drill, which I just remembered. I completely forgot to tell everybody this yesterday. If you have a question, you can, of course, DM me, tweet out, whatever, or you can toss it in the live chat below. So we'll get this show on the road. Emily Victoria, which I have to say, I love your name. Like, seriously, your name is like so epic. That is so cool. Tell us about, who you are and your journey to becoming an author.
Yeah, so as she said, my name is Emily Victoria. I'm a Canadian. We were just talking about how very cold it is where I live right now. I write young adult science fiction and fantasy, though my debut, This Golden Flame, is, of course, a full-on fantasy. And yeah, this book sold maybe 2 years ago. My agent sent it out to the editors, and we went on submission, and it sold to the amazing Inkyard Press. And they walked through all the edits with us, and it just came out on February 2nd, so just about 2 weeks ago. So I'm still in that lovely just debuted and everything is like rosy and happy stage.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about how you got the idea for the book and what the book was about?
Yeah, so This Golden Flame is set in a roughly ancient Greek-inspired world, and it's governed by the Scriptorium, which is this government organization that wants to reanimate the automatons because they were once this powerful army but have long gone dormant. So the main character's name is Karis, and she walks through the Scriptorium, but all she really wants to do is go off and find her brother who was taken away from her. And she manages to reanimate an automaton named Alix, and she discovers that he can think and talk and feel and do all these things she was sort of always taught automatons couldn't do. So rather than hand him over, they both escape away from the Scriptorium, both to find Karis's brother and also to discover the secrets in Alix's past. And because I am a complete nerd, I did crochet my characters, so they look roughly like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and so how I got the idea for the book is I knew I kind of wanted something set in ancient Greece. It is roughly set because I did want to, really expand on the setting and add magic and the scriptorium. So I knew that I had that, and I also wanted a human character and a non-human character, and I really wanted to put them together and just force them to kind of work together and trust each other, even though they weren't really sure if they could trust each other. So that's really where This Golden Flame began.
Awesome. So how did you come up with the concept of the scripts with the runes?
Yeah, so as I said, there was a scriptorium that's not actually ancient Greece. I lifted that from, I think it's actually ancient England. But scriptoriums are all places where I believe the monks would go and transcribe books. And so I really wanted to have that setting, and I wanted to have a magic system that was based sort of in books and in writing and in runes. And so that is sort of what became the script. And that's just because I love books and I really wanted a book-based magic system.
Well, I loved it. That's like my favorite part of this book. I love all the different magical systems that authors come up with, but like I'm covered in runes, so yeah, I've got runes over there and stuff. So I'm covered in runes. So runes are my jam, and that was like perfect.
And it was also fun, like expanding that to like different cultures and the different countries in it, and seeing like different ways they would handle the rune systems and all that.
It's definitely neat, guys. Like seriously, if you liked the concept of like the libraries and books from was it The Sorcery of Thorns, you'll like this one.
I love that book. I think I have it somewhere.
It makes me cry that her books are always standalones, because
I know
Needs
Enchantment
to
of
be a
Raven.
series. Which I can say this could be a series. I mean, the way that it ends, I mean, yes, they're done, but they could not be done. I mean, be
I did leave
interesting.
it slightly open just in case, but yeah, right now, currently planned as a standalone.
So he says, book-based magic, you speak my language. Exactly. Let's see, we have a writing question. This book deals with a lot of war and fighting. Was there a reason why there was no death in it?
Just because like I wrote this starting in I think it was 2017 or something, and just a lot of difficult things were happening in the world, and I just kind of wanted to go in a happy direction. So ultimately, I kind of just wanted things to be happy.
It's like you go to jail, nobody dies.
Exactly.
Everybody
Yeah,
lives.
and I just gravitate towards lighter stuff. Like I don't like darker toned things as much. Like I don't mind reading them, but in terms of writing, I really gravitate to kind of the fluffier, happier side of the spectrum.
Definitely something to read during like this time with COVID and everything. It'll give you guys something that's not so in depth or dark. So
I like happy.
yeah, right. We need some happy. So what's next for you?
So I have sold my next book. It is called Silver in the Mist. I almost forgot the title. It is another standalone. We were laughing that they both had kind of like a metal in the title and then something natural, but they aren't related at all. And so in that one, basically there's this continent. It's divided in between two countries, and the magic of the world is dying. And as it dies, this malevolent force called the Mist is just seeping over the land. So the main character, who is also Ace in that one, is a spy, and she's actually sent across the border to capture the strongest magical caster that is left to try to save her home. But then things do not go as planned when she is over there.
Ooh, and when should that one be coming out?
I don't have a specific date. The most specific I've heard is fall 2022.
Ooh,
Yeah,
excited. That
I'm
sounds
an
like
editor
right
in
up
this
my
one.
alley
Yeah,
too. That sounds great.
I'm enjoying writing it a lot.
So, has your writing routine changed going into your second book versus writing your first?
I think so, especially now that I'm on a deadline. Obviously, that changes a lot of things. And also, I just, in some ways, find it easier to write now that I kind of have this team behind me supporting me. I have my agent, I have my editors, and all these people, I can go to if I'm stuck or I just need some guidance. So that has helped a lot. And it's been really nice having that and kind of staying with the same publisher in between the two books.
Right. I think that's a lot easier. I know authors that have like had to jump different publishers, and it's like it's so different when you have to change everybody on your team and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. How do you come up with your characters?
So I will say characters are one of the things I probably struggle with the most. I think like the plot and the world stayed mostly the same from kind of my first edit to the last, but it was the characters who really changed a lot. So yeah, for this one, I knew I wanted kind of that human character and that inhuman character, but they really changed through edits, and that was a lot of my agent and my editor really kind of asking the probing questions about like what these characters wanted, how their backstories would kind of reflect the ways they acted. So yes, it was definitely a walk in progress, and I would say Karis and Alix changed the most of anything in the book.
Okay. And let's see. Somebody wanted to know what the arrow. Okay, I lost the message. Ah, it's just another word for asexuality, correct? Or it's
So
like
Arrow is
yeah,
aromantic,
that
and
yeah,
yeah,
that.
Ace is asexual. So yes, Karis happens to be Arrow Ace. So
And can you explain
yeah,
a little bit about like what that is and why you decided to add it to your story?
yeah. So it's because I'm Arrow Ace, so I wanted to write my identity on the page. And yeah, so aromantic just means you don't experience those romantic feelings. Asexual means you don't experience those sexual feelings. And so some people like me are arrow ace, but you can definitely have someone who's aromantic and sexual, or you can also have people who are asexual but romantic. So it's kind
Awesome.
of the two different spectrums, but they definitely kind of intersect
Hmm.
sometimes.
So, what advice would you give to a new author?
I would say just kind of really write what you love, I guess. It can be so tempting to kind of write towards trends or to kind of write the book that you think other people will want. But I think we all each have our very own stories that only we can tell. So I would say stay true to your own story and don't try to kind of change your story to fit what you think other people would like. And also stick with projects because I know it can be tempting to chase plot bunnies, but you do have to just get a book down if you want it published. And I know that was an issue for me that I just kept wanting to do new projects instead of finishing anything.
Ooh, I feel that.
Yeah.
What is the most difficult part of writing for you?
For me, I think it is the characters. Like plot comes pretty naturally to me, world building comes pretty naturally to me, and characters I just struggle with. I struggle with making them come out clearly on the page and figuring out what they want. And I think because in some ways it's kind of like the plot and the world building is kind of static, but your characters are kind of the things that do really change. A lot of authors say they just spend their entire time like chasing after their characters and trying to make them do what they want.
Mm.
And I have definitely felt that. So I would say characters. And fast draft writing, I hate fast draft writing. As
What
soon
is
as I can
that?
edit, that's just when you write like the initial draft.
Oh,
As
okay.
soon as I'm at the editing stage, I'm okay. But to actually get that initial draft down, I'm not good at that. It takes me so long.
So how long did it take you to draft this book?
This was the fastest I'd ever done it. So probably from initial idea to end of the initial draft was maybe 4 to 5 months before I
Oh,
started
that's
edit.
not bad though.
And that's quick for me. Like the book before that, I want to say it took like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what have you been reading?
Ooh, what have I been reading? I will admit I'm one of those people that the pandemic has really hit my reading habits hard. I've been struggling reading, but I did recently read Alexuality. It's a wonderful book. I believe by Darcy Littlefather. I think I have it somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, this is probably the most recent one that I really enjoyed. Was my and yeah, it also actually features
Pretty.
an ace protagonist, and basically, the main character is part of this family, Lipan Apache, I believe, and her family can raise the spirits of dead animals.
Ooh,
And then her cousin is murdered, and all of a sudden they have to figure out what happened to her cousin. And so it's kind of her adventure, and it's just such an amazing book, and everyone should.
I love the cover to that. That is
Yeah, isn't it
gorgeous.
beautiful? Yeah, so like one of the animals she can raise is she has a dog. It's an adorable ghost dog, so
That's
they have
cute.
the little ghost dogs on the cover.
It's like it's all like the side characters, like that, the little companions that really jump out a lot of the times. I know that
Yeah.
there's a book that I read, I think 2 years ago, called The Bone Houses. And it's like anytime I see it on social media now, I comment bone goat because there's a bone goat in the book, and it's like the goat stole the show. So it's like everybody's gotta love the bone goat.
Gotta love the bone goat.
Gotta love the bone goat.
Ghost dogs and bone goats.
So do you know what your next project is gonna be since you've finished
Oh,
writing your
like
second book?
After Silver in the Mist? That
Mhm.
I don't know. I know lots of authors have just like notebooks full of projects and like
Right.
they can always have one to choose. And I'm just not that way. When my agent asks me to pitch my next book, I sit down and I start thinking about what I want to write and I build the idea up because I feel if I had like a notebook of books I wanted to write, I would just keep trying to write them all. So, yes, After Silver in the Mist. I do kind of want bronze to be in the title because evidently that's
Mhm.
just what I'm doing, but that's all I know.
Ooh, that would be kind of interesting. You could do
Yeah,
like, I mean, because with bronze, you could do something from like the Bronze Age, or
yeah.
you could do like what, like Roman or Spartan. Because I mean, they all used, the metals and stuff. So that would be kind of interesting to see. Well,
And it is kind of
I am
funny because I
excited.
would say that, yeah, bronze, like, that is the major metal in this book. Like, Alix is
Mhm.
made out of bronze. That's what the
Well, right.
automatons are made out of. So, yeah, there's actually a lot of bronze in this book, but the title did end up being golden because plot reasons I cannot give away.
Like, no, I can't tell you why that's like that.
Yeah,
No spoilers.
no spoilers.
Right. Well, that is all of the questions that we have for you today. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, please make sure to check us out next week. We actually have 3 shows. One is going to be with J.S. Furlong of Hidden City, which is a new YA coming out. The next one is going to be on the 19th as well at 6 p.m., and that is going to be of Silver and Shadow from Flux Publishing. And then on the 20th at 2 p.m., we are having an early show on Saturday. Emily R. King is coming back for her newest book, Wings of Fury, which is actually a Spartan, so.
I think there's a lot of books because Lore just came out too, and that's kind of ancient Greek.
What? Which one?
I think it's called Lore. Lore.
Oh, Lore. Yeah. I actually still need to read that for this month.
And I think Daughter of Sparta, Claire Andrews, isn't that one coming out too?
Daughter of Sparta.
Yeah,
that one's coming out, I think, I want to say next month.
I feel like there's a wave of ancient Greek and ancient Rome books, and I'm very excited for them.
Me too. I'm so excited for that. There's so much good stuff coming out this year.
I know.
You guys make sure to check out Emily Victoria. I just love that name. Emily Victoria's new book, and the buy link is below if you wish to purchase it from here. And we will catch you later. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thank you.